So it's the time of year where Spotify Wrapped has been revealed. So I decided I'll share mine and we'll see what it reveals about me. So just to let you know, I'm doing with the audio turned off because when I'm recording it on my computer, it's actually muffled the audio, which it probably does intentionally for copyright reasons. So decided to turn the audio off completely, but we'll still get to learn about what my music taste is. So it mentions we're ready for you, Spartacus Jones. That's just the name I happen to use on Spotify. So let's get into this. So let's see. So yeah, that's the total number of minutes that I listen to on Spotify, which is a decent number, but it's good to know that Spotify is just one of many avenues I use for listening to music. So we'll see what's next. So it says I listen to 471 genres of music. So yeah, I think that's a lot of genres. We'll see what my favorite genres are. So yeah, I think that's relatively eclectic. We got punk, singer-songwriter, hardcore hip hop, reggae, and indie rock. So we'll see what's next. Age is just a number. Don't take this personally. So we'll see what this is about. Okay, so my listening age is 65. So that makes me 16 years older than what I really am. So it seems like the reason why is because I've been listening to a lot of music in the late 70s. And I guess that makes sense with the punk and reggae and singer-songwriter. The peak years of all three of those genres happen to be late 70s. And I've done a couple of like 70s deep dives. And right now I'm listening to a lot of 70s music because I'm working on an article of the best protest songs from the 70s. So that should be posted on my website in the next day or two. And I also plan on recording a video. So cheap plug, ongoing history of protestsongs.com. So the first of what's probably gonna be more than one cheap plug. So we'll see what's next here. Oh yeah, it's a lot of songs. And that's the thing, I'm not really big on necessarily listening to the same song over and over again. So I do like listening to a variety of different songs. But yeah, I listen to 11,080 different songs. But can I guess what my number one is? Yeah, I don't know what it would be. So we'll see. Okay, so it looks like make your pick. So I have to pick between one of these. So which one would I pick? Might be Rock and Contradiction because I do listen to that song a lot. It's from Sunny Ward and Steve Ignorant was part of a member of the iconic UK rock punk band Crash. So let's see, let me select. Yeah, so I'm gonna say it's probably Rock and Contradiction. So let's see. Yeah, it looks like that's the song that it is, my top song. So yeah, it says only 11 times. So I don't listen to, I'm not one of those people that listens to the same song 100 times over and over again. But we'll see what's next here. Oh yeah, it's my top five songs here. Two songs by Fishbone, which I did do like a Fishbone deep dive. So I actually wouldn't be surprised if Fishbone's my number one artist, even though they're not necessarily my number one favorite. But I did do album ranking video of Fishbone, which you can check out on here. But I also have it in written form on my website. And I also had the pleasure of interviewing the founding member of Fishbone, Chris Dowd. So to prepare for that interview, I listened to a whole lot of Fishbone. But yeah, we'll see what's next here. Oh yeah, your top songs. They made a playlist. So I have to check that out later. Okay, I listened to 471 albums this year. So I wonder if that means I listened to the albums in their entirety, which I can see that because I've done a few years of deep dives and artist dives. But yeah, I think 471 albums, complete albums, beginning to end. I think that's an impressive number. So let's see what we got next here. Okay, my top album. Yeah, it's just kind of a compilation album by Jesse Wells. And Jesse Wells is probably on my top five artists. I don't think we got there yet. And partly because he's so prolific, but I'm a big fan of Jesse Wells. I feature them a lot on my website. I also have an article and a video on 10 artists that prove that modern day protest music is not dead. And I feature Jesse Wells. So yeah, it says I listened to him for 197 minutes. Or that album for 197 minutes, but that's a really long album. So my top album, and I think they rank in all these albums by minutes, and a couple of these albums are really long. Like Sanadishta by The Clash is a couple hours long. Like it's a triple album. So I'm not even necessarily, I love The Clash, but it's not my favorite album by The Clash because it is really uneven. But it's a long album, so I think that's why it showed up on here. So let's see what's next here. Okay, I streamed 4,325 minutes of podcast. So yeah, I'm assuming that's a decent amount. So let's see what my top five podcast. The top five, okay, I can see that. Who cares about Rock Hall? I do enjoy that podcast. So we'll see what's next. Okay, I'm not really surprised by any of these five here. Okay, podcasters love to talk. We got Siasi saw it. So I think she's doing kind of a thank you speech. I'll have to watch that later because I have this muted right now. But sometimes they have artists and podcasters. If you make the top list, they do a little thank you video. Okay, so five more extra. Okay, these are my top five artists. So we'll see which ones and what order. So who claimed my top spot? So I mentioned I thought it might be Fishbone, but I could see it being any of those five. Jesse Wells maybe too, because he was really prolific. Let's see what happens here. So yeah, it looks like they're showing the different months that who I listened to in the different months. So we'll see what happens here. Oh yeah, there's Fishbone taking the lead. Oh yeah, it's been 892 minutes, which I think that's probably not a huge amount for a top artist. But I already mentioned that I don't obsessively listen to one artist or one song or one genre. Like I do listen to a fair variety. But we'll see what's next here. Okay, we made a leaderboard for super fans like you. Okay, we'll just move on from that. We have my top artists again: Fishbone, Jesse Wells, Bob Dylan, Radiohead, Neil Young. Yeah, I love all those artists. Like I said, Fishbone's probably wouldn't even make my top five under normal circumstances, but I mentioned the deep dive there. So we'll see what's next. We're from one of your favorites. Okay, Jesse Wells. So yeah, I have just muted, so we'll listen to that later. Okay, all your listening made is something bigger. Which club do you belong to? Your club believes in rebellion for music. There's no club rulebook. I'm a focused playlist creator, combining the best of your club into mixes. So I think that makes sense. I make a lot of playlists. And I guess the rebellious part could be that I focus a lot on protest music, even though that seems a bit odd saying rebellious when you use Spotify. But I guess I can't be too critical because I use Spotify. Okay, there's my club favorites. Oh yeah, so all those make sense. So let's see what we got next here. Time. Okay, so looks like the wrap. That wraps it up. Okay, yeah, so that's just kind of the final recap there. So that is a wrap on the wrap. So what about your favorite music of the year, like either Spotify rap or whatever other streaming service you use? What were your top songs, artists, albums, genres? What about your music age? Are you older or younger than what your real age is? Well, feel free to share any of that in the comments. And if you want me to keep making videos, please like, and subscribe. And also, you can check out my website, Ongoing History of ProtestSongs.com. So thanks for watching, and please stay safe. You got me boning, yeah, 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 yeah. Got me boning, in the boneyard. It's alright, yeah.